What up, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
Phenomenal.
We've got
Great.
Kat, we've got Ant, and we've got Josh motherfucking Pruitt.
What's up, guys?
What's good, bro?
Chilling.
Chilling. I think everybody kind of knows you, but just in case, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, a little bit about me. I am from DC. Sorry, I'm maneuvering my chair. All right, that's better. From DC, I've been here in Tennessee for like 2 weeks now. I grew up there. Obviously, I'm a Trump supporter, if you didn't know by now. I actually was part of the January 6th, whatever you want to call it. I call it being a motherfucking patriot. I've been at all the truck rallies before that. I am technically associated with the Proud Boys. That's about it. Love my fucking country.
As do we. So you say you identify. So you say you identify as a Proud Boy. What all does that entail with you? Haven't you just identify that like a man identifies?
I am initiated into the Proud Boys.
Okay.
But to be honest, over the last few months, with all the shit going on, a lot of us are not in like very deep contact anymore. You know, like we're just not because of all the bullshit going on, and it's just for a safety aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had communication with at least the Proud Boys from my area in probably a month and a half.
Now, can you explain to people who may not know, like, what the Proud Boys actually is?
Well, I mean, we are a right-wing group. I mean, we're not super far right-wing, but we are a right-wing group. And it was designed as a drinking club at first. That was just a right-wing group. But, I mean, what we've done is we go to the rallies, and what happens at these rallies, the truck rallies, as you guys know, at nighttime, BLM comes out. At nighttime, Antifa comes out. And who they're attacking is they're attacking the regular patriots or the families, the women, the kids, the cops. And the cops are being told to stand down. Well, we're not being told to stand down, so we do what we need to do. You know, so we go out there and handle shit. And again, I'm from DC. I have a bunch of friends that are cops. I have friends that work in the CIA. I have friends that work in the Pentagon. And these cops, during these rallies, were getting sprayed piss bottles on them and literally being told they can't do anything. Well, guess who could do some shit? We could. And the cops let us do it. Cops would move out the way, let us slide in and handle our business because they wanted to do what they weren't allowed to do. You know, so that's all we are. We're not a goddamn militia. We're none of that shit. We're not white supremacists. That's bullshit. It's just, you know, it's just the agenda narrative that they push on us to make us look bad. I mean, if you want to talk about terrorist groups, BLM, Antifa, those are terrorist groups. You want to talk about insurrections, BLM and fucking Antifa. And that's my biggest thing with all these charges. Like, I'll tell you right now, I'll do 2 years in prison right now for my charges if they use the same energy on me as they do them motherfuckers. Lock them all up. Yeah. I will accept 2 years in prison if you use the same energy. Lock them up.
No, they're just still letting them all out with no bond. I mean, they don't even get
they arrest them, and then Democrats pay to get them out. And I mean, these are politician Democrats. These aren't just Democrats. Their politicians are paying for their bonds. You know?
Well, not only that, I mean, New York is looking to actually pay people to not be a criminal so that they don't go to jail. Like, the country is straight up fucking half-ass backwards. They have completely...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How did you say that without laughing?
No, and then also they're considering paying fathers to stay in the home.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll give you for instance of how backwards this shit is. So, DC is not the safest city in the world. It's a little rough, okay? And you got people sitting in jail rotting right now for going to January 6th. But you got people being arrested for gun charges and being let go. I mean, really? That makes no sense.
Now, how long have the Proud Boys been around? Because I actually never heard of the Proud Boys until that debate with Joe Biden and Trump.
So I actually did not know who the Proud Boys were until November. I had no clue who they were. I lived in D.C. and I went downtown to the rally, and I went down by the Capitol, and Antifa was down there blocked by cops running their fucking mouths. So I walked up just to kind of hear what they were saying. Before you know it, some dude on a bullhorn yelling at me, talking a bunch of shit, and it's like, I'm not going to come over to you because, again, I backed the blue. I'm not going to push cops out of the way to confront you. So I ended up walking away. I go down to a bar about 6 blocks away called Elephant and Castle on Pennsylvania Avenue. I had 2 beers and a shot of J-Mo. When I came out of the...
Oh. Yeah, I think his internet was shaky because he's the one that was crackling.
Yeah,
really
I was going to say, because it wasn't my connection this time.
Yeah, it's not
Okay,
you.
so he'll pop in. So just to keep the conversation flowing on criminals and immigration, I know that a lot of people have concerns and some like not misinformation, but unsure information about exactly what's going on when they're seeing a plane filled with people from Afghanistan coming to this country during a pandemic with no masks on, with the current border crisis. Kat, do you have like further or even, text further explanation for people? Because I'm even a little bit confused, to be honest. Like, why are they coming here? Are these American citizens? Are they just Afghanis? Like, what are we trying to accomplish here, and why are they coming?
Yeah, a lot of them are. All of them are refugees. We've actually left behind our American citizens so far, as of now. We have senators, active duty senators like Tom Cotton, that said, basically tweeted out, if you're an American citizen and you're stuck, maybe give us a call, give us an email. Well,
yeah, there's a really helpful link that they can click.
Yeah, and so the last numbers I heard, there's 22,000, between 22 and 30,000 coming to Texas, and there's another 30,000 going to Wisconsin.
And then from what I've heard, we still have anywhere from 20 to 40,000 American citizens. That's not including the troops that are still stuck in Afghanistan. So this would be like journalists, like subcontract, like people that went that aren't military.
Work there on behalf of the United States. I think what really scares everybody about that picture is, I mean, guys, they got to take a really good look at it. It's all men. It's mostly men. So what people don't understand is you have mostly men that are coming into this country from Afghanistan.
Right.
Probably undercover Taliban and terrorists coming along with that crew.
Well, because what you have to remember, though, too, is that the airport is surrounded by what we're being told. This is information that I've gotten from right and left wing media, because it all kind of seems to be the same besides opinion. So it's surrounded. So the Taliban is who is vetting who is getting into the airport.
I mean, just think about it.
I want to believe that this is all refugees. I want to believe that these are all people that, and I do believe, like, I think that there's some confusion going on and a lot of feelings around this subject. I have deep empathy for everyone that has to be left behind, regardless if they're American or not. Those are human beings, and I understand that. I do.
When did you ever think that in America?
This is where we are, though.
But they're holding a press conference.
I mean, like,
Taliban.
Yeah, I went on vacation.
A terrorist organization holding.
We now work with the Taliban, and they're holding press conferences.
Right, like when the Taliban.
What the fuck?
Right, when the Taliban social media is up and yours is not, there's a fucking problem.
Trump can't even have free speech, but the Taliban does on all social media.
Hey, sorry, I have no idea what happened.
Oh, you're good.
It's okay. We just continued. We're good. Right. And now that Josh is back, I'll just say one more thing on that as well. Is my frustration is I don't understand why we have to be the ones who save everybody all the fucking time.
Thank you.
Like, why wouldn't, I'll even go to my sister country, like where my parents came from, Italy. Like, why the fuck don't they stand up and be like, yo, we'll take 10,000 of them. Yo, UK, take 10,000 of these refugees. Like, why does the Americans have to always be the ones that take the brunt of immigration and then have the American people bust their fucking ass to help these people? And we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic and we're putting our kids in masks.
We can't, I was going to say, we can't even take care of our own people right now.
And why can't they just stand up for themselves? They're all fleeing.
Well, I mean, we're taking people that we should be scared of taking. This is like back in the 80s when we took the Cubans in.
Right.
Like, this is not a good situation.
Right.
Who we're taking. We don't know that these people are not fucking terrorists.
Right.
No, they're votes.
Like, if you don't think they haven't slipped a few terrorists in there, if you think there's not some Al-Qaeda in these hundreds of people that are coming, there are.
Absolutely, Josh. They've already found some coming in through the Mexican border.
Yeah.
I mean, this is fucking insane.
Can you imagine if
right now we're getting it from the border of Mexico and then we're getting it from this shit? We're gonna have some fucking problems.
Can you imagine if during the Revolutionary War, when we were outnumbered by Great Britain, by not just by men, but by manpower as well, with the rifles and everything? Can you imagine if we just fucking fled, what we would be right now?
Huh. Yeah.
I mean, and that's what, like, every country has to do this. Like, we have to go through this, or else at the end of the day, if they don't want it, they're going to do what they're doing and they're just going to flee.
You know,
if they want it,
a lot of these other continents and countries have been around way more years than we have. And communism has been proven to not fucking work. Why are we not learning from them?
Well, and that's just it. I mean, and anybody that you talk to that's from Cuba, Venezuela, any of these countries that you're talking about, I've had candid conversations with them, like, how do you feel being here right now? Like, what do you feel like? And this was during the election time, like when they saw what Biden was bringing to the table, and they're like, we're scared because we left our country because of this. Right. And you know, it's funny to me because when I was in Italy, and I'm sorry to branch off from what we were talking about before, Josh, but when I was in Italy, I have a cousin of mine who's really big into politics, and she's actually a liberal activist. But liberalism there is so different than liberalism in the United States. It's night and day. It really is. And she said, if you want to come here as an American and you want to start a business, the Italian government will come in and they'll literally say, I don't understand why you're here. And you'll be like, I want to live here. I want to start a business. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. You'll be like, why? And they'll be like, because you have to prove yourself to the Italian government before you can even think about living here. And you're like,
oh, wow.
Prove
That's most countries all over the world. Like, you have to have so much money in the bank. You have to be employed here in America for so long.
You have to receive a letter from the U.S. Embassy stating why you want to come over.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is people don't understand how good you have it. I have friends from India that I grew up with in high school. My high school had tons of Indians. They used to come over from India, and they used to tax-free. The government would give them money to open up gas stations and fucking 7-Elevens, and then they get tax-free for 7 years, and then when that's about to come up, they give it to the next family member that comes here.
Yeah, me and you have talked about this.
Yeah.
Both as children of legal immigrants who were like American fucking privilege.
Oh,
yes.
It's American privilege. It gets like confused as something else. Like, our people have never, ever experienced anywhere near, like, you sound so stupid and you sound like, where's the humanity there? What are you doing?
Right. And it's sad when you see these American citizens that are misfortuned and they're shitting on the streets of San Francisco, California, downtown Chicago, all these different big cities, mostly Democrat-run cities, let's be honest, because my mayor here in Fort Myers, you can't panhandle on the intersections. You're just not allowed to. Like, some mayors will pick their balls up and they'll be like, yo, you can't be here. Like, you can't jank the street up, bro.
That's a city ordinance.
You gotta fucking move. Yeah. Democrat-ran cities don't do that. But why aren't we investing the money then and taxpayer money into maybe cleaning up their mental health, helping them with other situations that they might have drug addiction with. No, they don't care. They're making
because then we
money
can't make money off of that, my love.
Yeah.
We can't suck them dry for everything that they're worth and all their hope and all their dreams. And
All right, let's bring
Sorry,
it back.
I
No, you're
digress.
good. Let's bring it back to Josh here.
America's here right now. Sorry.
So, Josh, you got involved with the Proud Boys around election time, I'm assuming? November, you said?
So, like what I was saying, so I walked down to the bar from Pennsylvania Avenue. When I walked back outside, there was 10 Antifa members ready to jump me. And my thought process was, fuck it. I was just going to go and get jumped. Because I figured, I mean, I could take a few of them before I even got my hands put on me. And then that's when the Proud Boys came out of nowhere. And
Yeah, sorry, guys.
His service is like that.
Yeah, I think it's
that sucks.
But yeah, that's where like I get like some military vets feel like their service was wasted out there, but these people gotta want it at the end of the day.
That's what's killing. That's what's killing me, and that's like what the hardest part of it for me is watching that.
Yeah.
So the Proud Boys came to your rescue, essentially, is what you're saying, huh?
yeah, I had no idea why it's cutting me in and out. Maybe I should turn the internet off. I don't know. But so basically Enrique and his boys came and saved me from getting jumped. And at that point, like I only lived 2 miles away, so I wanted to hang out the rest of the night. So I just hung out with them the rest of the night. And then we ended up getting into it with Antifa. I got my hands on a few Antifa members. And BLM guys, whatever. And that was fun. And then Enrique swore me in at the end of the night. However, that's not how it really works. That was more a publicity stunt. So that video went like 30 million views on Twitter, I think. But that shit just got me more hate than anything else. And then I actually got vetted from the Proud Boys in the DC area. And so I technically wasn't. Enrique swore me in November, but it didn't really count. I really got put in actually January 20th. So actually, January 6th, I technically wasn't even a Proud Boy.
What now? Are you allowed to discuss what their vetting process is?
Well, I mean, they just look your shit up really just to see who you are. I mean, they don't want anybody that has any kind of. They do background checks on you. They obviously don't want anybody that has anything to do with any kind of child shit or like putting your hands on women shit. It's more about that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know, like we don't fuck with that. Like.
But it's funny that you say that because they're deemed to be this horrible hate group, and yet they don't want people who are molesters or beat on women. And I will say I do know I don't know if they call them the chapters of each state or I don't know how.
Chapters.
Okay, so I'm friends with the Illinois. I actually have a few friends in the Proud Boys of Illinois, and. Dude, the best. No, one of them is gay, actually. But they're all the best. They're the best guys ever.
Is his name Ant? Or?
I mean, they really just want to protect. What does he say now?
Is his name Ant?
I plead the fifth. No, it's not me. It's not me. No, but they genuinely just want to. They're for the citizens of this country. Like they want to protect.
Yeah.
Our freedoms. So
I think just like most militias in general, I mean, they're not bad. Most militias are actually good for the people. And so, you know, they get a bad rap, obviously, because the media portrays all the militias as this bad groups of people, but it is what it is, I guess.
So, Josh,
I mean, we're not about hate. We're about protecting the people. We're about our country. You know, I find it real funny that the video that had me sworn in with Enrique, I get labeled a white supremacist when a Cuban and black dude is swearing me in. Because that makes fucking sense.
Nothing makes sense. We're all in the big top. So these Antifa members, so from what you saw, what is the general, I don't know, sketch of an Antifa member? I mean, is it a white soy boy? Like what do they look like?
Most of Antifa is skinny white boys.
Go figure. It's always the white liberals. Always.
It's young white liberals.
It's always. It never fails.
that work at Staples or some shit.
Starbucks.
Look, I can tell you now.
Making their
I
frappuccinos.
come from a black city. DC's a black city. You want to know who didn't stop talking to me? My black friends. You know, stop talking to me? All my white liberal friends that I've known growing up.
Yeah.
Same.
Black
Same.
people are fine with me because they know I'm not fucking racist.
Yeah. Even my black liberal friends, they've stuck around. But my white liberal friends have all left.
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've lost none
Here's
of my
thought on
black
white
friends.
liberals. They did some racist shit in their past, and they're trying to make up for it and hide it. And that's why they're doing all this BLM shit. They did some fucked up shit in their past.
Yeah.
Fucking me.
So that's a great point because none of my black friends from childhood or even adulthood, left my friendship. We got closer through Trump and everything else. But B, none of them supported BLM. Like, I lost white family members forever because they were sending pictures like this with all white girls, leaders of the BLM. And all of my black friends are like, dude, this is gay. Yeah. They're like, bro, what up with it? She's got her fucking keychain from fucking Starbucks, bro. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, like whether it be on TikTok or in real life, it's always the damn white liberals. I've never understood it.
I mean, in the beginning, it wasn't obviously because like in the very, very beginning, right? Like right after.
Well, they really did want to bring awareness to Black lives.
And
supposedly.
Then they stopped.
Supposedly.
So why y'all still going?
Yeah.
Acting crazy. Like even BLM stopped.
Well, Josh, lead us to January 6th.
All right, so January 6th. Hold on, I'm refocusing, trying to get this shit to work better.
That actually worked better right there. Oh, then it disappeared.
All right. So basically, January 6th.
That actually works a lot better.
I was there partying it up. You know, I have some of my buddies coming into town, and we stayed at a hotel like downtown called Harrington, which is kind of known as the Proud Boy fucking hotel down there. We all met up in the morning around about 10 a.m. Now, to give you an idea, some of the pictures they used of me all over the internet, of course, unfortunately, I put an Instagram picture of me the day before with me holding a fucking AR-15, so that was a great idea. They definitely used that against me. But so we met at 10 a.m. the next morning. We went down to where Trump was speaking. To be dead honest, it was so fucking loud and so many people, you couldn't hear a goddamn thing. So the idea that he had cited anything or told us to go, like, we couldn't fucking hear him. Like, we just couldn't hear him. So
now, when you were there, what was your estimate on the number of people?
Talking, and then you start seeing people just kind of walking down towards the Capitol, which was always the plan. But the plan was just to go outside the Capitol and kind of be there and, you know, whatever. We get down there. I'm actually down there with a chick friend of mine that was a lawyer from VA, and she's also a photographer, so she was down there taking pictures. And my fucking phone died, so I lost the Proud Boys at that point. I'm just with her. So we get pretty close to the building. She's taking her pictures, whatever. All of a fucking sudden, you see the door get breached, and people start going in. And of course, my ass was not going to turn that opportunity down, so I went right on in with their asses. But I mean, like, I walked in through an open front door. I went in there and walked around a little bit. I got gassed by the cops. I did knock the sign over after I got gassed by the cops. That's because I was frustrated from getting fucking gassed. I actually did put my hands on one person, which they'll never show this because it was somebody trying to hit a fucking cop. And I grabbed him and tossed him away from hitting the cop. I'm sure that body cam will never fucking show up.
Of course not.
But you know, so that happened.
How close were you to the stage?
I was probably in there 45 minutes, an hour, and then I got the hell out of there.
No, how close were you to the stage of Trump?
Huh?
How close were you to the stage of Trump?
Probably like 50 yards away. We tried to get into the crowd down there, but like it took like 45 minutes to walk like 30 feet. Like,
just when it starts getting good.
It's like a nonstop thrill ride podcast.
I know, right? It's like
I
We're
know.
we're gonna keep
have
everybody
to not-
suspended here.
So sorry, you guys.
Hey,
Technical
Tex,
difficulties.
side note, I have to give you mad props, brother. I love the flag in the background. This is the most patriotic podcast we've had since Freedom Fam launched. I mean, this is great.
It's really great to see your dedication
I'm not
back
sure if
into
you
the
throw
show.
Well, here's the thing: like after today, it probably won't be here because I'll be moving.
Then
That's
goes
okay.
full gypsy.
Yeah, I'm a little gypsy for a while.
I have
So,
no clue why my phone is doing this right now.
Is he on
Yeah,
Wi-Fi?
We're about 50 yards away from Trump, so. But you still couldn't hear shit, and it literally took about 45 minutes to get like 30 feet. It was bad. It was that crowded. I mean, there were fucking millions of people there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
I'm sure they tried to dump it down like there weren't, but no, there were millions of people there.
Seems pretty important that he was that close and couldn't hear. I mean, I don't think anybody really. I'm just finding that out.
Yeah, I mean the videos
I'm
that I've
hearing that
seen,
from
like
the
from
first
I'm
time.
telling you,
Trump,
nobody
really
could hear him because everybody was being loud and
singing the national anthem, weren't they?
trying to listen, but
And weren't they singing the national anthem and everything?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I like from videos from personal friends that were there that I saw. Like they were all just singing the national anthem as loud as they could, or the pledge.
That's what I saw from people that I know that went.
Yeah,
Right.
Like even when I was like FaceTiming with people down there, you couldn't hear him.
No.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a really nice little segue to talk about how the Homeland Security website is basically saying that Tex, you, me, Kat, we're all terror risks at this point in time because we're against this current administration. So 80 million, say even 70 million Americans at this point are now on the Homeland Security's watch list because we oppose the vaccine. We're against this current administration and what they're doing. What were the other ones on there, Kat?
election fraud.
I was gonna say
election fraud.
Election
That's it.
fraud
If
is
there
on
was-
there,
if
and
you
like
think there
any
was fraud and
questioning
Trump
of
is
it.
coming back, you're apparently a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
Here.
Wow. I think I would probably be better off being a Trump supporter and living in North Korea with Kim Jong-un as my leader.
Yeah.
At this
Because
point,
you would be.
You're probably better off being a Christian in China.
yes, exactly. Yes.
I mean
Because you know
that's
what?
essentially what it was. I mean, it's getting crazy that they can just start labeling anything, and this is Bush's fault.
But is this a
This is that Patriot
conspiracy theory?
It's the Patriot Act.
It is. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Now explain that a little bit to me.
The
there,
Patriot
Tex.
Act helped. I mean, George Bush created Homeland Security after 9/11.
Okay.
I mean, that Patriot Act allows them to identify any terrorist that the Homeland Security deems, and then they can tap into your phones and get your records and all that stuff just on suspicion.
I'm sorry to purposely wonder if I'm being censored right now because my shit keeps cutting off for fucking no
It
Yeah,
is crazy.
It's
Like
like a really, really bad connection.
So we'll try to keep going. So Josh, so you went from the stage about 50 yards from the stage. You couldn't hear Trump, obviously. And then what? You guys walked down to the Capitol? Damn.
Yeah.
And so, when you go back in history and see what 9/11 did, that's exactly what happened with 9/11. They created the Homeland Security, and they allowed the Patriot Act, which didn't. I think it got extended under Obama. And so it's allowed all this to happen that basically gave too much power to the government, and we allowed it, and we cheered it on because it was called the Patriot Act. How can you disagree with the Patriot Act?
I mean, it's just it's like when a kidnapper comes to kidnap a kid, they're going to bring candy. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
sometimes things that look really good are not good.
Yeah.
And who's gonna? I mean, like they make their bills so thick now, and everything is like.
Well, they make sure
who
the
has
name is
time to
right.
actually sit there and read all of it.
Yeah, it was all in the name.
Yep.
I mean, so if you think about it, if you're a
We had
patriot,
this huge tragedy that joined the country together, all of us together, which we cannot have that.
yeah,
And we all, oh, a Patriot Act. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, 9/11. Remember. And
yep.
Yeah.
you actually go through it, it's quite horrifying.
It almost
with
does
what's
feel
going
like
on right now.
like I'm getting to the point now where it almost does feel like something's happening with his phone as far as like.
No, this is crazy. Even when mine's like that, like.
Yeah, because you're on your phone and you're on your phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ours never does this. I mean, I don't know if he's in the sticks in Tennessee or not, but
mine does the clicking like once in a while. My service does that.
It seems like every time he gets it focused and it's squared away, he just cuts right back off
he
again.
goes completely out.
Yeah. And so like that's what we gotta we gotta realize with this whole thing is it's really all started with 9/11. And as long as they can continue to do what they're doing and monitoring us and labeling us, then when they label us, they can further interrogate and further investigate us that are beyond the constitutional means.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm for once like speechless because.
Well, we were all saying that today. Like the three of us have been on the phone today. We've cried. We've been like, nobody knows. Like this is really bad.
And it's just like I told you, Kat, earlier. It's like this. It's just so much so quick.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, would you ever have thought that?
No.
Oh.
That I mean, it's by the minute.
Like I'm
Just keep
legit
me
losing.
working better. I turn my phone
And
off.
I'll be honest, like I'm legit starting to lose hope.
I am too. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
same.
Like I never will, and I'm gonna go out very loudly, but like I'm starting like a lot of you guys are gonna have to realize that some of you are gonna have to fucking fight. Like if you weren't smart enough from round one, and now that you see what's going on now, some of y'all are gonna have to fight. Like this is not gonna be we're watching TikToks until the end, you know? Like
Right.
Well, that's what I
look
said
at how
too. Is
everybody's coming down on TikTok. I have a big feeling that TikTok in a whole is about to be done.
Yeah. So Josh, you go from 50 yards from the stage, and what you guys walk down to the Capitol at that point.
Repeat that.
So you were about 50 yards from the stage. Did you leave Trump's speech early and head down to the Capitol, or did you wait till it was fully finished?
No, we probably went down. People started walking down. We waited a few minutes and hung out. But I mean, I was in there within the first minute of anybody going in. So, well, that's what CNN said. I'm not sure that is. But
I really do think he's tapped, y'all.
I do too, and
And I mean, you also
they're saying
realize
it
that
too, I
like
mean.
he was one of the first ones to go in. It wasn't just that he was there; he was out. He went in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, he's coming back here, I hope. So, Josh, how long did it take you to go from Trump's speech where he was speaking to the Capitol?
10 minutes tops.
Okay.
Blocks.
Okay. So you were 6 blocks away, about 10 minutes, and you get there, and there's obviously a big crowd obviously around the Capitol already. From what I understand,
people are there.
and from what I understand is there was like two different sections of the Capitol, essentially. There was like the side where they did the insurrection, and then there was a side where they had like food trucks, and it was like peaceful. And
Yeah, when you walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, the food trucks were right on the left-hand side, and then you walk up on the Capitol. But there were people on the opposite side of the Capitol, too, that came from the other direction, which would mean my guess is if they're on the opposite side of the building, they probably didn't walk down from the actual from Trump, because that doesn't make any sense. Why would you walk straight into it and go around to the other side?
True, because it's a
Especially
big
if you're
Capitol.
trying to go in, which is even funnier because that's the side where they started breaking the windows first. So you're telling me you came to the Capitol, walked around, and then broke windows? Yeah, I don't think so.
If you've ever been there,
Those
like
people were never
it's
even
a large
listening to
capital.
Trump. They came from somewhere else.
yeah, it's not an easy capital to walk around by any
No,
means.
it's not. It's a big fucking building. So
Yeah.
that makes absolutely no sense. You would have went right to the front door where you were already there.
Did you sense anything when you
know?
when you got to the Capitol? Did you sense anything like, shit, this thing seems like almost a setup, or was it just all emotion kind of deal where everybody just kind of started laughing?
I think it was more emotional, but I mean, like, after I look back at it, you know, the idea that Trump incited violence, no, but other people were inciting it, and these were probably the people there trying to set the shit up. Because, like, for instance, the light-skinned dude from New York that got paid from the 2 news networks,
Yeah, John Sullivan.
he was inside the building. Yeah, John Sullivan. He was inside the building yelling, "Let's burn it down." You already got people in their emotions. You know, that is inciting violence.
So you actually made it into the Capitol.
Oh yeah, I was inside.
Was it like, so I've seen several videos. Was it as peaceful inside the Capitol as what some of the videos make it seem like?
They're only showing the bad parts. You got to understand, if you look at all the videos, you might find about 15 minutes worth of video altogether. They were in there for fucking 6.5 hours. Okay. Wow. And on top of that, they have 1,400 hours of video, apparently.
That's what I've heard.
Watch all the news networks. How much do you really see? 20 minutes of it?
I was going to say, it's the same recycled.
It's the same shit. Did some bad shit happen? Of course it did. Okay. But was the majority of it like that? No. They used to their advantage what they need to use for their own fucking bullshit agenda. You know?
Yeah. I'm just wondering why anybody gives a shit that these people in office, like AOC, why do we care if she felt scared? Why does anybody give a fuck about that?
There's a tunnel that goes through to another building that's part of the Capitol that's freaking half a mile away.
No, I know. But
nobody was banging.
Why does anybody care
I
about
was going to say, she wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Well, because
and then she wasn't even there. She says she felt like she was going to be raped next. Like, girl.
Well, because the thing is like, we all know, like, one on really, especially on the Democrat side of things, it's all based on feelings.
Yeah.
So even though like AOC is proven to not have been there, even though AOC has been proven not to be there, she still talks as if she was there. She still talks about feelings, and that's what they do. Is they
facts don't give a fuck about your feelings.
Well, I used to think that until I see a lot of conservatives worried about their damn feelings anymore. I'm just saying. But I mean, it's like, so you're in the Capitol now. Where did you go?
The reason why I bartend and I'm not in politics. Maybe her ass should be too. Maybe she should start slinging drinks again and shut the fuck up.
Exactly. So when you got into the Capitol, where did you go and what did you do?
I went into, there was like a main room. I don't fucking know the name of the room, but it had a high ceiling or whatever. I did walk down towards some of the offices. I did not go in any of the offices. We did get gassed, and then I went into another hallway, which at that point, that's when I tossed the sign out of the way. But whatever. You want to charge me for a fucking sign, go for it. It's not a felony. It's destruction of property. It's not even part of the fucking building. It was a directional sign. I'll pay for it, motherfuckers. Like, but other than that, that's all I did. You know? Oh, wait. My bad. I saved the cop from getting hit in the fucking face. I did do that too.
So can you talk about that? Because
are you allowed to say like what you were officially charged with after that?
Well, I have like, Vince, you turn that down a little bit. I got 8 charges. The most important, the hardest one is violence inside of a government building. So apparently walking really fast is a fucking felony in a federal building. So I shouldn't have speed walked.
You got a felony charge for that.
I should have speed walked. Or I should have done it in the fucking Olympics instead of a government building. I don't fucking know.
So you're what, like one of 4 felonies? Because I think there's only 4 felonies out there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so like,
why?
go ahead.
So what separated you from having to stay in these solitary confinement facilities?
So the reason why I didn't get locked. So this is what happened is later that night, I got arrested on the 6th. Okay. And I got arrested for technically curfew. I was actually trying to be a good fucking Samaritan. And I was at the hotel with my buddies that got the hotel that night. And I only lived 2 miles away from there. I could have fucking went home. But there was a girl, Trump supporter, that didn't feel safe walking back to her hotel. So I walked her back to her fucking hotel so that she would be safe. And then when I walked back, I got tackled by 8 cops in front of the fucking building for curfew. Going back into where I was staying at for curfew. And you could tell the judgment on them because look, I looked the part, I guess, whatever. Because there were people across the street walking. They didn't grab them for curfew, but they grabbed me. Because I looked the fucking part. And when I got arrested, they didn't know who I was at that point. They literally just arrested me for curfew. And I went through the process that they were taking everybody through. And about 2 hours later, FBI pulled me aside and said they recognized me. So it's not that they recognized me and grabbed me. They profiled me.
Right.
I was just going to say they profiled you.
Yeah.
Wow. Who would have thunk? Oh, my God.
Wait, a white guy got profiled? I thought white people don't get profiled.
The side that doesn't.
I know, it's wild.
Right? Looks like a Trump supporter. Let's get him.
Yeah.
I mean,
insane.
So you get arrested. Like, why are you out of jail and there's 540 something in jail?
So the reason why I'm out of jail is because, first of all, in D.C., there's no bond. So it's either they keep you or they let you go. And based on the charges that the judge saw, she saw no reason to keep me because we actually have crime in D.C. So she didn't think it was fit to keep me on that basis. So she let me go. A day or two later, the Democrats or the government, whatever, gave a bunch of shit to basically the court system about releasing us. So at that point, they started keeping everybody. And I was already let go. They're not going to come pick me back up. You know what I'm saying? So
right. You got with that.
I kind of I ducked that part because there's probably 600 people that got arrested and probably about 30 or 40 of us that are out. My lawyer has 6 people. I'm the only one not sitting in jail rotting.
I can't believe that that's actually happening, but everything that happened all summer, nobody's in jail for.
Political prisoners, which is some communist ass shit.
Yeah. Do you have any friends sitting in the jail?
What is it?
Do you have friends sitting in jail?
Personally, I don't. No.
Okay.
I don't know anybody that's sitting in there right now.
Now, I know a lot of the problem is lawyers. Is there some reason why lawyers won't take up and help these people out?
I think they're scared. I don't know. I mean, like, I have a public defender, but you got to understand, on a federal level, a public defender is a real lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, on a state level, you don't want them motherfuckers because they've been in the system for a year. They don't know what they're doing. But on a federal level, they are actually real lawyers. And my guy's been pretty good. But, like, I even tried to I had people put up a GoFundMe right after I got locked up to try to get me a good lawyer for this case. Guess who took it down? BLM. BLM started harassing GoFundMe to take my shit down.
Which that's funny because, like,
and it worked.
Like Elena, she was there and she has a petition against her to get her fired from her job simply because she was there. She's never been arrested or anything, but she can't get the petition taken down.
It's such bullshit. I mean, there's attack on us conservatives, period. I mean, as we saw with the Homeland Security thing, I mean,
yeah,
there's an attack on us right now. Regardless of how much you've done or how much you've not, like, it's really just, if your belief system is not of theirs, you're a goddamn domestic terrorist at this point.
Yeah.
Which is completely sickening.
Do you have a trial date?
No. So I have a court date. My next court date's October 21st. But if you know what a preliminary hearing is for, it's for them to show evidence against you. Okay. Right. So the fact that I've had my court date moved forward 3 times. So
Wait, you're
public-
still waiting on your preliminary hearing?
Yes. Yes.
You have got to be kidding me.
No, I'm dead serious. My next preliminary hearing is October 21st. So it took you 10
Wow.
months to get evidence on me. It's because you don't fucking have any. Not for the charges you want to get me for. You know there's no way in hell you can get me for that felony because I didn't fucking do anything.
Wow, that's mind bending to me.
Now, have you kept up at all with like the John Sullivan case?
I mean, only what I've seen a little bit on YouTube and shit like that, but I haven't looked into it too hardcore.
Because I know he's being treated like gold.
Of course he fucking is.
Yeah. So, like, you're on probation. I'm assuming.
I'm on pre-trial.
So, is that like a house arrest or what?
It is no, but all right. So I have a GPS monitor on my ankle.
Okay.
I technically have a curfew that's 9 p.m. However, they know I'm a bartender, so if I'm working, I'm allowed to be out.
Okay.
Which is dumb as shit because I work 6 nights a week now as a bartender, and I get out at 2:00 in the morning. So it's like, why don't you just release the fucking curfew? I don't know why they
Right.
think 9:01 p.m. I'm gonna go raid a fucking Capitol.
Yeah.
But apparently they do. That's the time I like to do dumb shit, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
So stupid.
It's just a fucking control thing.
I'm
That's all
just,
it is.
I'm quiet because I just can't wrap my head around any of this. I really do feel like that I'm in a nightmare. I'm sorry. I'm just taken
tell you what,
back.
though, like here,
All
I've
of
been
us
pretty great.
are right now, yeah.
So,
In
right to a
DC, I
speedy
went through
trial,
so
right?
much shit. I come down here. I've had 2 Uber drivers in the last week after my fucking autograph and a picture because they fucking recognize me. I have people in my bar realize who I am, and they're all like, "You're a fucking hero." In DC, yeah, complete fucking opposite.
Wow.
That's gotta feel like that's gotta be just so much better for you.
It's a
though.
fucking relief.
like
you know, it's just a
mentally
fucking relief.
overall, because the thing is that what you did, a lot of people, we see what it was.
Hey, like I said at the beginning of this, if you want to spend that same motherfucking energy on BLM and Antifa, I'll go to prison for 2 years just so they go. I'll take that shit all fucking day.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, so I've done a couple debates on TikTok, and obviously this topic usually comes up because it's usually a debate with a liberal. And the one that it actually got me a content violation on YouTube was my last debate, and we brought up the insurrection, obviously. And so, I brought up.
It was a peaceful protest.
Yeah. I brought up BLM and Antifa and all that stuff. And of course, they've got all sorts of excuses for them, right? Like, oh, there's agitators. Well, do you not think that there was agitators on January 6th? Nope, there wasn't. How can you say that? Like, it's been proven. And then my next question to them is like, because they're like, oh, it was an insurrection. Okay. Name me one person that's been charged with sedition or insurrection.
None.
You can't find one because there is none. There's no charges for it.
Nobody.
So if there's no charges for it, you can't call it an insurrection. And of course, the last guy's like, oh, well, that's what it was. I know from, it's just pure and simple. I'm like, you do realize that the FBI has not charged anybody. 540 counts, 542 or 45 accounts. And there's not a single one of sedition or
I'll
insurrection.
tell you what. If it was an insurrection, it was the smartest one ever because not one deadly weapon was used. Like, that's the best insurrection.
Well,
in the fucking
here's an
world
example.
right
You
there.
want to see an insurrection? If you want to see a real insurrection, look at Afghanistan.
It just happened. It literally just fucking happened.
That's an insurrection.
When you walk in with AR-15s and take over shit, that's a fucking insurrection.
Yes. And so of course they make up all these excuses and whatnot. Oh, the FBI is still investigating. You do realize like the FBI already has all the information on all these people. They have all the video footage. If there was going to be an insurrection charge or sedition charge,
when they were naming the weapons inside of the Capitol, it's like armed with a flagpole. Like, wait, what? I mean,
I want to see the guy that was armed with the
The
podium.
person was carrying a fucking flag. That's like saying armed with Axe deodorant. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So, what do you think we can do? Like, do you think it's too late? Do you think we can still get a handle on
I think they're
this?
going to fuck around and see a real insurrection. That's what I think.
Now, let me ask you a question because this has been my doubt.
I think they're going to get the Civil War that they say they want, but they don't. because they're gonna play a game that who's got more guns, and guess who wins, motherfucker? We do.
Yeah,
Well, here's a
they
question that I
have
have.
to disarm us.
Because
The
there's
question-
two things. There's two things that will cause a real civil war. One of them is coming for the guns, because the only thing they're gonna get is the bullets. And the second thing is coming to trying to push us with that fucking shot. I'm telling you,
Because
they don't.
I mean, you have the
They,
government
they do
literally
not
today
want to do
pushing
that
it on
because
babies
they
now.
gonna fuck around and find out real quick.
So I guess the question is because my hope for that it has been diminished because of January 6th, because so many people were there and just turned around and walked away.
I feel like there was too much talk and not enough real doing shit.
That's my problem. Yep.
You know, like
But I also don't think
if
it
we
was
wanted to
time
take
yet.
if we wanted to take the fucking building, we would have took the building.
But I have to agree with Kat. I don't think people have all this. There's so much built up right now with like they're just bomb, like every day is boom, boom, boom. It's another thing. It's CRT. It's masking our kids. It's the shot. It's this. And I think now everyone's like look at what we had a conversation before we went live. I'm like, I have no empathy, no sympathy for a single liberal. Like I do not care. Like I will leave you on a train track.
We're not going to unite.
See,
Yeah,
this is what I
I'm
think
not-
they don't understand.
Nope.
They thought they saw some shit on January 6th,
I know.
but there's a bunch of militia motherfuckers sitting in the background right now, out in the woods, that weren't even part of that shit. And when it really fucking goes down, it's gonna really fucking go down. They're gonna see some next level shit, and they ain't gonna be ready for it. So that's why they think they have the upper hand. But go ahead and play that card, motherfucker, and see how it really goes down.
I 100% agree with you.
I want to agree. I just don't know. I don't know. After seeing January 6th and like so many people walk away, it's like
Yeah, but January 6th was a rally. That was the type that was how it was kind of promoted. Like, yeah, you had a couple people that were like,
Hey, so
storms
again,
coming.
I mean, I was in there only 45 minutes.
that wasn't your fuck around and find out crew.
No, you're messing with people's kids now, Tex. People on a whole other level.
Dude, I
This
had
is
to,
a
like
whole
my
nother level.
Facebook. I had to. Well, actually, I didn't delete it. I deleted all the pictures off of it before it got deleted. FBI deleted my Facebook. They deleted my Instagram. Like I have two kids. I have an 8 and a 10-year-old, and just my last name is a problem for them right now. They're getting fucked with because of my last name, because they fucking know I'm their dad. It's a fucking 8 and a 10-year-old. Like, how are they dealing? How are they dealing with that?
yeah.
And
You
this
can't,
is,
I mean, I don't.
so
I don't
this
know.
is the weirdest shit ever. So my ex, I went to middle school with this chick. She's a fucking liberal, and I mean she's a liberal to the extent, and this is why we get along because the kids to an extent, but we obviously don't agree on a lot. When COVID came down, she wouldn't let me see my kids because of COVID. Okay, like for a while. 6 months into COVID, I go on her fucking Facebook. And she's at a goddamn BLM rally with my kids with masks on. I'm like, I called her. I'm like, have you lost your motherfucking mind? Yeah, no, real shit, Aunt. Like, yeah. I was like, you gotta be fucking. I told her straight up. I said,
I fucking hate liberals. I'm sorry.
I told her I'm
fucking
getting my
hate
kids
liberals
next
to
weekend.
the fucking day I die. Sorry.
Bro,
Not
I
sorry.
told her straight up, I'm getting my kids next weekend, or we're gonna have a fucking problem. Because I will get lawyers involved when you play these stupid fucking games.
Oh, I love Aunt.
Oh my god, I would have ripped her from cooch to chin. Zero.
Dude, I was more than mad.
I can't do it. I hope a bitch would come.
There
up
he
to me.
is. There he is.
I fucking hope a bitch would come up to me. I'm waiting for this fucking liberal hoe to come up to me and say something to me in public. I swear for God. I swear for God.
I'm waiting for them to come knock on my door to talk.
Oh,
to me,
I
like,
cannot
the
fucking
COVID
wait.
witnesses.
Do you know that I try to egg them on at stores? I was at a store today and I started to, hold on.
You're like, come talk to me. Come
No,
on.
wait. So the girl's behind a glass that's about this big, okay, at Nike. And I go like this. And I start tapping on the glass. And she's like, what's wrong? I go, you tell me. Hello! And I go right around. Hello! She's like, and she has no mask on, mind you. And I go, do you see it? You don't see it? And she's like, She looks around her and she goes,
Retired cop, no shit.
she's like, what the fuck? I'm like, hello! Right now!
I mean, we're being so censored at this point. I mean, fuck, Ant, you just got shut down. Tex, you just got shut down. Kit, I know you've been shut down too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My name did,
It's
and then
just like, I
now
mean,
I'm on some stupid ass
My,
band.
I mean,
just got-
I only have like 1,600 people on here now, on TikTok now. I had 50K in a fucking week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I started talking my CNN shit, and then nothing.
No, they hide you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just kept getting
Big
shut
time.
down. I mean, I'm on account 18 right now. It's in 5 fucking months. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, for speaking
Well,
the
then
truth.
that's the other thing that I worry about is like, how long are you going to have to walk around with that letter on your chest? Like, even after all is said and done, you know what I mean? Over
I mean,
something
we
that
need another
wasn't what they said
platform.
it
I mean,
was.
I signed up on Getter. I haven't really used it yet, but I signed up on there. I don't know what it's about. I haven't fucked with it really. What the fuck?
You see it?
Yeah.
That was a good one, Ant. That was
sorry.
good. That was
Oh,
good.
You know
And then
what's
once
so
you got
funny
with
is-
Clapper, but I think I heard one of you guys say people were getting shut down on Clapper too.
yes.
Clapper
Oh,
gets
yeah.
you get shut down quicker on Clapper than you do here on TikTok. I'll get this is what I will give. Yeah, because they got real sensitive. Like if you just like you know how like we can call TikTok out and go and start complaining to TikTok.
Yeah.
If you do that on Clapper, you're out.
Oh, you're done.
Gone. Completely gone.
Damn, Clapper's got little feelings.
Yeah, they got.
Oh, I
little
probably
things.
shouldn't go on there then. I don't know how to shut my fucking mouth.
I've called
Oh.
Clapper out on TikTok, and Clapper has come in the comments on TikTok.
Shut the fuck up. No.
Bible! They're
Yeah,
like,
that's
but your
Clapper's like a
account is
crazy
still up.
ass.
We're sorry,
That's
your
pretty
account is
fucking
still up. I'm
hilarious.
like, bitch, get out of my comment section, block.
when
And you were a moderator on TikTok, weren't you? Or
I was part of the content violations team.
TikTok and Instagram are connected somehow because
Yeah.
I got a new fucking Instagram because the FBI shut mine down, and the first time I got blocked from posting on TikTok, I was blocked from posting on Instagram, and I had never fucking posted on Instagram before, never. And I
That's
go on
crazy.
there to go, not post. I went to go live. I got blocked from live on TikTok. And then I went to go live on Instagram because I was like, fuck it, I'll go live here. Blocked. I was like, what? I've
Oh
never went
my.
live on you before. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So, Josh, so if people want to follow you or your journey, where can they follow you at right now?
Well, I mean, on here, I get, well, on TikTok, I guess, Josh MF and Pruitt, 1776. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get my email out because that's the one thing that won't fucking go away.
Yeah.
And it's just jacked, like JACKED 5@iCloud.com. That shit ain't going nowhere. So if anybody loses me any other way, they can get me there. And I mean, like, you guys have my phone number. So, I mean, there's that. But
Well, you don't have to give that out to all of
hey,
them.
okay, so his number, just so everybody knows what his phone number
Scroll
is.
his cell phone number.
my number is 1-900. Fuck you.
Hey, Josh, Monty says hi, by the way.
What up, Monty?
I'm just kidding.
I'm out.
I'm
I
just
was
kidding.
like, Wyatt,
Oh, God.
can we?
We're not going down
He's
that
blocked
road.
from here, right? He should.
Yeah, I removed him from the channel.
Okay.
Well, because he kept saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell Josh not to come onto your show and all this stuff." So I had to make a little joke, you know.
I'm not in the middle of any of that shit.
Oh no, we don't
Well,
want to.
I know you're not, but
I
we're
told
being
you. I
harassed by
talked
a
to Anthony
patriot.
about it already.
Yeah.
He,
Don't need any more
Anthony
accounts
knows
coming
where I
down.
stand.
Oh yeah, no, you're good.
What?
I said, you know where I stand.
Yes, I 100%. I'm just.
Absolutely.
I can't believe that another patriot is like literally trying to bring down other like patriot. I kind of hate using patriot now because I feel like it's diluted.
Kind of like racism.
Yeah, I
I
feel like it's like
everything
patriot,
is just
patriot.
diluted
Like,
now, and there's
fuck
good people.
off.
There's good people, and bad people.
Right.
That's all that's left now.
Well,
Right.
So here's the thing. So that good people, bad people, that's not conservative liberal thing. That's just people.
It's just
There's gonna be
people.
bad
Like,
people.
it's no
There
political
will
party.
be bad people in every aspect. You know,
Yep.
which also comes down to the fucking shit. It comes down to the January 6th shit. Were there some bad people there? Of course there fucking were. Were some of them even maybe patriots? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But you can't judge a whole fucking group off of a small percentage of people.
No.
And that's what's always funny is that you get that on the
Dude,
left.
it's like saying that a cop shot somebody and we shut down all the cops. We
Absolutely,
defund the cops.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like, well, so the defund the cop thing, it's like saying somebody stole money from Bank of America. What do you shut down Bank of America?
Shut
No,
down
you
banks.
fucking don't. That's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Conservative
love
cop.
retired cop chick. She's my moderator, my friend. Love you.
Me and retired cop talk all the time. She's good people.
She's a
Ricky
bad
has
bitch.
you.
You don't fuck with Heather. She's a bad bitch.
I
But I'll
have
tell
no
you what,
plans on it.
I'll still rip a liberal from coochie to chin.
Retired cop has my phone number. We talk all the time.
This mofo.
This bitch.
Oh. Well,
What a
I
time to be
appreciate.
alive, guys.
Oh my gosh. What a time to
You
be.
know
So-
what though? Like seriously though, what you're
Well,
living
so-
through right now is so historically
we talked
important.
about January 6th today, and they're coming down on us. They're probably going to take the video down eventually anyway.
Yep.
So while they're keeping it up, I'd like to say a few things. Fuck Black Lives Matter, and fuck Antifa, and fuck Joe Biden,
Fucking love it.
and fuck Camel Toe Harris. There you go.
There you go.
Trump 2024. Actually, no. Trump 2021, bitches.
You
Oh.
still hoping?
I might as well just get it taken down now. Fuck it.
You say fuck it. We'll just get it banned now.
Censor
Where they-
break. Yeah, censored's my boy too.
Where did Ann go?
He said one sec right at the end of the show.
He hates us.
It
'cause
may
we're
have been
sick.
urgent.
All right. Well, Josh, we do appreciate you being on. Tomorrow we have Rebel Fox 44.
Yeah.
88, I think. Rebel Fox, she'll be on tomorrow. So if you guys are looking how to battle your school boards for your kids, she's going to be on to discuss how to battle your school boards.
Yeah. Parents definitely get the hell in here tomorrow.
And she has made a huge stride in Illinois, of all places, on her school board.
Love it.
And we'll be giving tips and tricks on how to maneuver things within the school board and the school board system and all that stuff. So
And then I'll be using her tips and tricks at my school board meeting the very next night.
yeah. I mean, school boards, if we haven't learned already, that school boards are probably one of the most important things to get involved in,
Yes.
just because it involves our little ones with the indoctrination and everything that's going on in America.
Right.
So she'll be on tomorrow. And Josh, we appreciate you and your time. I know you had some technical difficulties, but we
Yeah, I
absolutely
appreciate you guys. I'm sorry about the technical whatever. I don't know what the fuck happened, to be honest. But
It's
The
the,
government.
it's the FBI. We'll just chop it up to that. And
Yeah.
we appreciate everybody coming in today. And we will see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.